fans in the crowd over there, but I'm sure Brigham Young is representing as well, as we have now finally entered into pick and ban for game number 3 between Brigham Young and University of Utah. Bans so far looking to be identical to game number 1 of this series. Next one would be Syndra by Utah if they don't want to give that over to Jimmer.
Followed by the Caitlyn, but we see the Gnar ban, which is quite interesting to say the least, as Gnar has not had a lot of success in this series so far. But maybe they have an ace up their sleeve.
Yeah, might try to change it up for something a little bit different in this series. In this game, they might even have to. Olaf banned away by Brigham Young. They've got their sights on set on the first pick.
So they're letting the Caitlyn go through, which has not fallen before. It might be the pick that Utah wants to take right away, make sure that Jameson have that late game scary. But if Brigham can actually take advantage of the mid game like they did before, Caitlyn might be a negligible pick.
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that. Previously, Jin was the first pick for Brigham Young, trying to counterpick that away from James. They've got 45 seconds to look for that first one. Now, how do they...
It's a top lane pool that has been clinched now. Jace, Poppy, Gnar, and Kennen. So a lot of priority here, and we might see these teams really go ahead and feel quite bold and confident and grab one of these picks as the first rotation. Maybe the likes of Echo, GP, if you will, maybe even Aurelia. Who knows what they have up their sleeve onto the top side. We know that US are going to be even play Fiora, so he might save that as a counter pick into the likes of an Echo.
15 seconds left for Brigham Young to look for that first pick. They're really taking their time and deliberating over this, but it is first pick Gangplank.
Right, and there is not a whole lot left that will be able to do very well against this, because frankly, you can't play Kennen or Echo and do well into the GP, considering you go with the Fervor of Battle build that we have seen in the past. Unfortunately, I don't think that Kenya is up to the level necessary to play that matchup and come out ahead.
Yeah, seems like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Epilepsy
just really,
warning.
Yeah, just trying to really keep you on your toes. Like, what's he going to pick? I don't know. Nobody knows.
And the Syndra gets taken away. Syndra Nunu. So Nunu just having such a high priority here, but I mean, just such a powerful pick. And while it is really strong, you have to recognize that Syndra into GP has difficulties. Gangplank with his global ultimate being able to just drop it right on top or behind Syndra makes her retreat quite difficult and easy to gang up on, especially if they go with something like Elise Sin in the jungle.
Yeah, that Maw of Malmortius also still very good on Gangplank because of the armor penetration.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how Brigham Young decide to round this out with the Caitlyn look at from Selenic. This would be his third AD carry in the series. First Jhin, then Ezreal. And the Caitlyn is going to be locked in. A little bit more safe than Jhin in game number 1, but not quite as safe as Ezreal.
Yeah, quite the great laner here from the Caitlyn. She does have a bad matchup into the Ashe, so James might feel comfortable with that. Although he has been smashing most of the lanes and probably doesn't need to go with any random pick. Caitlyn and Karma is going to be the lane instead. So just a full-on lane bully. Not a whole lot of synergy outside of laning phase. So a little bit worrying here from Brigham Young.
Well, we've seen James deal with the lane bullies in game number 1.
Yes.
So it should be exciting to see how he's going to try to deal with that again in this series. Now, maybe a bit of a faker shout out with the Aatrox hover.
Well, as a mid laner, he might have had the chance to actually lane against him in solo
You're
queue.
exactly
so
right.
perhaps he has learned a few tricks, and that is why he's been able to do so well against Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah, the secret faker strategy. He does have that Syndra locked in for Giraffe. So again, giving us the Ivern.
Whoa! What?
Okay. Alrighty, so James wants to put on a show for us.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. So Bard, Vayne, and Nunu. So Nunu Vayne, deadly combination. So there is synergy with that completely, but remember that there is absolutely nobody on the lineup of Brigham Young that actually wants to run into you. So questionable pick here. If the skill is there, then all better to him.
I think you were talking about it a little bit earlier after game number 1. That challenger mentality, like, I'm playing with diamonds. It's okay.
I mean, if I was challengers, I'd probably pick like a Kali, right? You go with something like that. You feel that comfortable. But bring him on the other side, just go with Another comfort pick. They go with the Victor and the Lee Sin, kind of a human lineup from their side. Not a lot of front line, but just a ton of DPS.
It's going to be pretty difficult for them to survive a lot of the damage in a sustained fight, but the tank is locked in. Maokai, this feels like an adaptation of like Season 3.
So this also feels like as if the AD carry just said, pick the comp that you want to play. Like, just pick everything around you. You're like, okay, I want a Maokai for Peel, I want Nunu to boil me, and
They've got all their signs nice and hype. Utah representing, and I think I see a few BYU fans in there as well. As we load onto the Rift for game number 3 between Brigham Young and University of Utah in this, the Ulol Rivalries.
And just standard opening, we can expect once more. Everybody looking for the standard point formation, just 5 in each location, although maybe BYU has other plans going straight down mid lane.
Yeah, rushing forward as 5.
Not really sure why.
Yeah, they're spotted out. Oh, they've got so much crowd control at level 1? Wait, no, they don't.
All right, well, it's an interesting approach to just show on mid 5, but it looks like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Nunu, what are you doing?
Kraydon didn't quite make it in. He actually follows the Sonic Wave. MIKen is so tanky. Oh my goodness, he's probably smiling to himself now. Haha, solo kill me in lane now.
No big deal. No scratch off their back. This is how tanky they are at level 1. Just imagine as levels go through, these guys are not going to get killed.
U.S. economy now getting deep into the jungle of Utah. Might have been looking to stop a recall or perhaps for a ward before he heads up towards that top side. Yep, there's the ward over the wall. And looks
Going
like
back to his side.
Oh no, he's not actually recalling. He's just looking at the penguins. Yep. Okay.
Why would you not sit and enjoy the beauty that is the nature of Summoner's Rift? There's petals and frogs, and honestly, I think I've seen foxes around sometimes.
There is a duck. Very, very rarely there's a duck. I think it's a 1 in 10 chance of there being a duck in the river, and it's afraid of champions. So once it sees a champion, it runs away. Giraffe actually starting with a camp. Oh, wow, clearing 2 of those small raptors away before heading into lane. He only missed 1. No, he actually hasn't missed a single minion yet.
That means he's going to be able to hit level 2 off the back line, and that's going to surprise Jimmer Fredette over here. He's playing it coy, right? He's saying, oh, I'm not that strong. I'm going to sit in the brush, but once these creeps die... Oh,
one more.
One more. There we go. Hit level 2.
He's got it.
There it is.
But he's
like,
already chunked down to half.
Doesn't matter. He still has the... Oh, he missed it.
Missed it. Jimmer Fredette still able to keep even as he's now looking for level 2 to match it right back. And Giraffe trying to display that lane dominance once again.
Jimmer has to be very cautious. He has lost lane twice already, so he doesn't want to do it a 3rd time, right? 3rd time's a charm. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again, I think. And then fool me 3 times, I really messed up.
There's a lot of shame involved there.
Nice little sidestep walking forward.
Yeah, Jimmer able to dodge that final hit as they toss it back out. Ooh, Snare finds Tandor. That's Thunderlords for a lot. James might have overextended, less than 100 health.
See, that's why you don't pick Vayne. You're already down the biscuit. You can't really do a whole lot, but it seems like Fury of Light's going for a gank onto the Giraffe.
Ooh, there goes the ward hop. That's Ghost. Flash dodges the Sonic Wave, but he still doesn't have a lot of places to go. Nunu's trying to catch up from the far side. That's dissonance for a slow. He finds Jimmer. Oh, will he be able to get the kill in time? Stun being turned. They're turning onto Kraydon now. There's not that much he can do. He flashes with Red Bomb.
Oh, what is going on?
Oh, boy. We have gone full solo queue.
Oh, man. That was a very slow ward hop, if you will.
The max range 2-button click, the ward pop.
It didn't even get the flash out of Giraffe, so that's very good news for the likes of Utah there. Only Summoner's Burn with the flash on Nunu. Not a big deal, and the Ghost from Syndra, whereas Lee Sin blew his flash, and while he hits level 6, he's going to lose that deadliness significantly.
Yeah, that's now red buff being picked up by Fury of Light as he looks to continue clearing out. Kraydon actually did not recall. He's got Consume and is running low on mana, so might see him stay in lane and jungle for just a little bit longer, whereas James not quite having anywhere near as much success.
It's the beauties of Nunu being able to stay out, but unfortunately the bottom lane of BYU just isn't playing as aggressive as they could. They have the HP advantage. There's biscuits, there's flasks, they have vision, they have jungler on their side, but they're still not far enough ahead to feel comfortable pressing the advantage.
Oh, no, he's got no flash. Kraydon, you have been caught, my friend. Fury of Light gets first blood.
God, he's ganking bottom lane with 10% HP. This man's out of control.
Oh, man, in the mid lane, Giraffe is able to get Jimmer within one hit. Does not greed for the auto attack flash. I would have good control.
No, it's the greed everywhere. The new thing, I'm still laughing about that one, but almost a kill on Jimmer once again. He must be laughing now, the fact that he's survived the third time, right? He's lived the lane and he's still keeping up in CS relatively. Before he had a 10 CS deficit, now we're looking at only 6.
So things going better for Brigham Young in this third game. James dodging damage as best he can. Oh, misses that minion because he can't quite make over the Montred ground.
And he's still even in CS.
Yeah.
Even though there is a significant HP advantage and a biscuit advantage into the bottom lane, they're still not able to press the matter. Fury of Light should just sit down there and make sure that James does not get a single CS.
Kraydon gets a very deep ward on his invade as US Economy teleports back to the top side of the map. Finally, Am Kenya keeping pace in lane, not taking too much damage. Fury of Light going for an invade of his own. Perhaps might be looking for a gank here. Giraffe only level 5. That's a large hop away. And the stun pushes him back.
And as a jungler, you know you just can't really gank Syndra. You have to come from behind, and you have to be able to hit her with a kick right onto your team. Any other angle is highly unlikely to work. So hopefully he fixes that for his next gank once he hits level 6, gets his flash up, and is able to find the kill onto Giraffe.
Ooh, James trying to dodge even more damage. Gosh, that 500 range, so short on that Vayne auto attack.
Yeah, you got to be like, why did you pick Vayne? Well, hopefully he shows us just that when it comes out of the laning phase. But unfortunately, right now they're sitting at turret, which is a pace that they have not shown this entire game before. Every other game they've been winning the bottom lane, they've been having pressure, and they've kind of relied on him to do well in the mid game. This time around, things might be different.
Yeah, oh, that's a long teleport. It's only just now been spotted. It's almost completed. Am Kenya? Who's he going to go for? Over the wall comes James. Looks like Selenic is the target. He gets in, but there goes the barrage. They're looking for Selenic. Meanwhile, solo kill in the mid lane for Giraffe. They're able to get the kill before flashing away. James is getting so greedy. Dodges the Q. That's no mana on Tondor, and he walks away.
And he tumbles right out of the mantra Q to make sure that he keeps himself nice and alive. He still had the heal. But on the other side of the map, Jimmer gets killed.
Yeah, Jimmer did go down.
Jimmer went down again.
Solo killed by Giraffe. Well, it's his first death this game.
I mean, just come on, Jimmer.
You guys can't see it, but those just hands on head.
He's 3 CS down, so his CS has improved. So definitely good on him for that. But we're going to have to see a little bit better vision control out of BYU to make sure that he can play as aggressive and up as possible without getting hit by the Syndra stun. And now it looks like Fury of Light's coming in for a kick flash.
Oh, there goes a good insect right into the gravity field. Dodges out some of the damage. He's chunked down to half. Bard is on the way. Only level 5, though. Will he be able to land the stun? Gets it onto Jimmer for the slow. Oh, and it procs. The hitbox just lines up.
Oh, damn. That's so close. He almost made it out.
You know, he was holding his breath. I'm out, I'm okay. Oh.
Well, that's exactly how you want to gank the Syndra, right? You come from an angle that she's not expecting it. The flash was down as it was burned for the solo kill before. Punished immediately. Great moves by Fury of Light.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, James continuing to farm. For the first time in this entire series, he's even in CS with Selenic. But he does have that assist to his name, so it's double BF sword for these two.
Yeah, so we were wondering what the build was going to be, and the BF is either the Infinity Edge, which is a crazy build, which we would know if he's maxing Tumble first, as the amplified damage is quite significant on that with the crit, or a Bloodthirster. I personally think a Bloodthirster would be a wiser choice onto the likes of the heavy harass comp that BYU has, especially if they plan on staying in lane for a while.
Well, it is going to be a bit of a patient game. We do have a pause going on right now. We'll try to investigate that as quickly as possible.
Talk about patience, though, right? You pause.
So we already expected this game to go pretty late with Gangplank and Vayne. And now we've got to pause to add even more time to that.
Well, so far, it's been pretty close, right? We have a little bit of a gold lead on BYU, but it doesn't mean much when you're dealing with the likes of Vayne, a very explosive champion that if you mess up one time, just one time, post-20 minutes, not only can you lose a team fight right away, you lose Baron, and that should be enough to get a game. So this is still anybody's game just based off of the picks.
Yeah, could be very knife's edge once we get to that later point. So far, as you said, it's still very even. We've been watching the junglers a little bit. We got to see Fury of Light make a few aggressive plays. He got first blood as well, killing Kraydon, the enemy Nunu.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Shut Nunu down.
So I think that not only is shutting Nunu down really important, but making sure that he can use that to get some deep vision. And we saw him get a pink ward onto the other side of the Wolves, which I think allows him to feel comfortable going from that side and visit the Syndra lane. And speaking of visiting lanes, I think that this game is you can just chop the top part of the map and forget about it. Nobody's going to the top side. We delegated people to GP and Maokai. They've accepted their fate, and it's all about mid and bottom. So expect all the vision control down there and all the action to involve all the parties there.
If not the mid laners themselves, because, I mean, Vayne, relatively safe. Whoa, looks like their pause turned right into a fight, James. Right on top of it, absolute zero. Exhaust, he takes a lot of damage, but heals to keep himself safe. They feed the kill over. Giraffe roams on down for a kill onto Selenic. That's 2 kills, Utah.
And speaking of what to do, you go straight down to the bottom lane. Tempered Fate is just so dangerous when you don't have summoners. The Karma and the Caitlyn just don't have enough mobility to get out of that deadly combination. And when you have Nunu to top things off with the magical journey, he can just surprise you. And they're going to be able to take a Cloud Drake out of it.
So now I must admit, I do have to eat my words. I was about to say, why go bottom when you can go mid, but they just showed us why.
Yeah.
Get Vayne fed, get a dragon.
Well, you also don't have to go mid too much because Giraffe is solo killing Jimmer, right? He's handling it. When you say, hey, can you come middle? I got it. I can take care of it. Give me blue buff. I can do this. And he went with the Dark Seal, which he might turn into a Magi's, which I would accept this for him as opposed to Jimmer on the other hand.
Going full solo queue this time. Working on it right now. Still only 2 charges on it because he did die. So not quite able to get too much value out of it just yet, but that's more sustained for his refillable potion. Meanwhile, James did complete his Zerker Greaves with this recall. In the top lane, though...
Oh, the top lane is just another thing. 30 CS down at 10 minutes. Not looking good for Kenya, but... I can't go this.
So he is having some difficulty. To sort of put things into perspective, Am I Kenya, the top laner, currently Diamond 5. He's actually only just recently gotten Diamond 5 within the past month. And as early as April this year, he was in Silver 1. So a meteoric rise for Am I Kenya as a top laner. Certainly he is competing at this level, but there is still a definite skill difference as US Economy might be looking for another solo kill, but that is greedy. No, here comes Jimmer. It's not a solo kill at all. This, my friends, is a dive.
It's the whole crew.
Oh, he just kicked him away, and there he goes. Meanwhile, in the bottom, Selenic is caught yet again. James secures that. That's the flash, absolute zero. Are they going to go for the dive? Tempered Fate catches the turret, but not Tandor.
Are you
he
kidding
goes
me?
down. Toast with the style play.
Oh my god, that was such a good Bard ultimate. Wow. Holy crap, that was so good.
That was awesome.
I mean, let's say it's skilled. Yeah, good job, Toes.
And that's the first turret going down of the game. No! First turret went to US Economy. He's faster.
The US Economy surprises us once again.
No one can expect the US Economy's strength.
Oh, well, cross-map plays all over. Gold dead even.
Oh boy, this is great. 2-0-2 right now. James is starting to get off of the ground. Meanwhile, US Economy doing the same thing. I was just complimenting you, Kenya.
Yeah. Well, he is still going to be very useful. That's the beauty of Maokai. And you know what? He's going frozen hard to top things off. Normally, you see Maokai go, oh.
Whoa. Good flash from Jimmer to dodge the W.
Yeah, he knows to respect. And he's actually going Abyssal Scepter this time around, making sure that he doesn't get one shot.
Yeah, lessons learned.
But as we were saying, the Maokai is going with a Frozen Heart. You're just saying, you know what, I don't want to be that tank. You see these guys usually go with maybe the likes of the Roa or Aegis, Spirit Visage, that kind of itemization early on, or maybe even a Randuin, Sunfire Cape sometimes even. But the fact that he just goes Frozen Heart right from the start is just saying, I want to be a support bot for my team, which is perfectly fine, but you know, you don't want to be put in that position if you're comfortable enough to do well in the game.
Ooh, Toast is going to face check into Fury of Light, who dashes away as Kraydon will follow up, but they're just getting some vision down, dropping down some very silly wards, and there goes the lane swap from Utah. James now heading up towards the top side. US Economy going to try to catch up with this as he's finished his Triforce, and we've seen some great barrel chains from him. Ooh, but he gets the shot off first. James calling the bluff of US Economy.
It's a classic topside swap. You do 3-man with your bottom lane and jungler, and you should be able to push down the turret. Unfortunately, GP's wave clear is quite powerful, but Nunu tanking the turret is going to be able to deter this.
Yeah, here comes the rest of BYU. Tandor and US Economy, along with Fury of Light, answer. They're able to defend it with minimal losses to that turret. In the bottom lane, Ami Kenya got to put some pressure onto Selenic, get a few CS as they now roam towards the mid lane again. Giraffe very far forward, caught in the stun. He's going to be tanking a turret shot. They're diving right in, but they've got no minions. Even Ami Kenya gets in there for the kill onto Fredette and Kraydon.
Don't do it, Giraffe, and rest on Earl.
Oh, he's dodging that aggro. And
they're going to lose mid-turret.
Yeah, mid-turret is going to drop the second turret of the game for Utah.
And this is huge. They roamed from topside after they weren't able to get it, and Selenic is going to get murdered.
Oh, the exhaust just saves his life. Snared and a revenge kill.
Dang, that was good, right? Karma comes in right to save the day. A nice little bait, if you will. But in the end, they do walk away with the mid lane turret, so the advantage does ultimately go to Utah.
Yeah, that was definitely calculated. Okay, I know you can take 3 hits of the orb, but I have to exhaust before the 3rd hit of the Power Unleashed.
Yeah, that little meme with the calculations. Yes,
numbers rolling by.
hit.
Yes. Okay, so 15 minutes into the game, and Utah lead by 1,000 gold. They still have the advantage in this series, 2-0. So BYU have got to be feeling the heat here. Maybe looking for a bit of a play onto Ami Kenya. But I believe he was spotted out by the ward of Fury of Light. Now, Cloud Drake is up in 30 seconds. This is the second Drake of the game.
And the second dragon is always important, as that one kind of gives you that extra little oomph in combination, right? You don't just get that one thing that doesn't really do much. Either it stacks with what you currently have, or it just gives you a little bit more versatility with what you can do.
Utah currently have the first Cloud Drake. So a second would be rather nice if they can get it. But we'll see how that works out, as Blue Buff is going to be gifted over once again to Giraffe. James taking out that Scuttle Crab with bonus penetration. Phantom Dancer finished.
Yeah, and it's a good build here, considering that if he's going to be trying to duel the likes of maybe the Gangplank or the Victor right from the start, the damage reduction is going to be absolutely huge, especially when you're dealing with the likes of champions that deal so much burst.
Yeah, Fury of Light looking for that Sonic Wave, lands it onto the Dragon, follows it over the wall, and it is going to be picked up by Utah. The fight breaks out. Giraffe is able to get the kill onto Fury of Light. Kraydon goes in. He's going to follow up with some help from Ami Kenya. A double kill for Giraffe as James has split onto US Economy. He drops. That's a triple kill now, plus another one. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an ace and a quadra kill for Giraffe.
It's an absolute slaughter there. The Nunu flashing in with the absolute zero, and the slow is a lot stronger now. The fact that he hits the Blood Bowl and the Tempered Fate hits the GP. No oranges can save you out of that one. They're going to be able to take a tier 2 in this on top of the second Cloud Drake.
Yeah. Giraffe is probably saying, man, why did you take my 5th kill? Why did you take my Pensa? And James is saying, man, why did you take my 2nd kill? Why did you take my double?
Why'd you take my 4 kills, man? That could have been me.
Exactly. But the mid-tier 2 goes down 4,300 gold in favor of Utah. And they are starting to look pretty scary.
Oh, what is GP thinking here? The US Economy trying to maybe kill Kraydon, have a little bit of revenge. They are going to be able to pick up the Nunu, though.
Yeah, that is 1 free kill now back over to BYU. So they get a consolation prize.
Yeah, free kill pales in comparison. You basically got a freebie while the other guys get a car.
First prize is a trip to Hawaii. Second prize is this coupon for a sandwich.
Yeah, basically. That's what they got here. That's what the Nunu was. I mean, he is 10 HP, 0-1. Regardless, they were able to walk away with the blue steal. It looks like the U.S. economy might be in trouble here.
Giraffe.
Syndra is so deadly.
Got his ultimate. Here comes Toast. And U.S. economy
he is as he exists.
Is running as quick as he can. He escapes with his life.
Wow.
The support of his team not able to follow up from Utah. Even James was there and wasn't able to get it.
Just greedy play from Giraffe. Just pop the ult, kill him right away. There's not a single item of magic resistance on the U.S. economy. So he could have died, but once again, the humble Giraffe lets him live.
So very polite. James now putting pressure on that top tier 1 turret. There it is.
This is just
There
discrimination at this point. You kill one guy, but you let the other guy live. What's wrong with Selenic and not with the GP?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. But Kraton now roaming towards the bottom.
Jimmer might be in trouble.
Hobbling down so quick. Tosses a snowball and runs away.
That didn't even break the shield.
Oh, James. He's greeting for it.
He's flashing that.
There he goes, under the turret, heal to keep himself alive. A solo kill for James.
And this is huge. He's going to be able to push down this turret, and it looks like Nunu and Bard are coming to the top side if they can offer enough assistance, and he's just opting to walk away.
Yeah, just play it safe instead. 19 minutes into the game, and Utah lead rather convincingly, now running havoc all over BYU's jungle. Things are starting to look dire.
And you know what made the difference? It was a Phantom Dancer. That PD diminishing the damage from the Lee Sin allows her to stay under the turret long enough to actually kill him. And now that BS sword that we saw as a first purchase is turned into an Infinity Edge, which with the Q is going to deal so much damage.
U.S. economy starts prepping some barrels, but by the time he gets one down, Utah have already cleared out this side of the jungle.
Oh, no.
Ooh, Giraffe sidesteps the barrel without knowing it's there. Tempered Fate doesn't quite line it up this time. And there goes the absolute zero. Power unleashed lets Giraffe get another kill as poor Rift Herald says, you know what? I've had enough of this.
I don't want to see this anymore. And he just takes his own life, commits Sudoku, and the turret dies as well.
Top tier 1 will drop the 4th turret of the game for Utah. Meanwhile, AMI Kenya pushing in the bottom, looking for that tier 2. Is he going to continue putting pressure as there are 4 people in the top? Still no sign of U.S. economy because he died earlier.
It's a double prong pressure here, top side and bottom. It looks like if they back off, Kenya might be able to get out some nice little damage. Unfortunately, the Maokai can't really take turrets as wood does not beat concrete.
Yes, unfortunately. Well, it does. It just needs a really long time to like chip and gravel through it. You ever
Does
see
it?
like
I guess the roots that kind of
like a tree push through
okay, so he
sidewalk.
has to sit there and grow on him.
I'm sure Ivern would be proud. Yeah, we just saw that tumble there for a good 700 damage from James. And he's continuing to clear out. Guys, I'm the Vayne. I need gold. Just give me all of the gold.
Yeah, he's just going to be dealing so much damage. With Nunu on his side, you have so much protection for him. There's not a single member on BYU that can really take that 3-hit passive from Vayne and live to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very painful as the waves continue to crash in. BYU seem to have slowed it down just a little bit. Now they seem to be trying to recover. Okay, let's get control of our jungle. Let's get control of the minion waves, not let ourselves get picked off. Well, Utah, once again, setting up, getting some deep vision on that bottom side of the map. And with Dragon in a minute, that could be their next objective.
Yeah, and they have to recognize what objective Utah goes for next. Because Dragon spawns so quickly, they're a little bit tempted. Perhaps it's to the bottom side, but they have Nunu and Vayne, which can also sneak a Baron very quickly. They have to spread themselves thin, and that's not a position you want to be in. Luckily for them, Utah shows their hand to the mid lane, and it looks like they're clearly going towards the top side as Vayne remains up there.
Oh, Tandor right against the wall. Not always the safest place when playing against a Vayne. And a Bard. And a Syndra. Actually, it's just not safe at all.
Walls are not your friend.
Yes. Meanwhile, Ami Kenya getting some very happy revenge from the fights of the previous game, able to trade rather well with U.S. economy. And as you said, Utah heading towards that top lane, looking for the tier 2 turret. They get some good damage, but the minion wave is cleared out. Will they commit to it? It's down to about 200 health, and they secure it with a squeaky little hit from Toast.
And most notably, they have pretty much cleared out every ward in the blue side out of BYU. They are going to be, oh, the laser
so
steal.
Close. Jimmer is probably saying, yes.
Lasers are the future.
We did it. Oh, US economy is very low. Flash snare doesn't have the ultimate yet, but Am I Kenya solo
Kenya
kills.
pulls it off. Man, this must be the Olympics.
Able to outrun him there. Jimmer Fredette will flash away to escape from some of this damage as Utah continued to chase forward. Cloud Drake respawning now for Utah. They've secured the first two. This is the
Cloud Drake. A third Cloud Drake. Well, you know, what can you do? You're on Cloud 9 here. It looks like you're poised for a 3-0, so this should be really good for them.
It really seems like it's the Cloud 3, the third Cloud at this point.
It is.
There's like an actual layer of clouds that have specific names. I don't remember what the third one is, but that would be the perfect place. Like the stratosphere? No, that's not.
Oh, that's
like
right. Like the ozone layer and that kind of thing.
Nimbus layer
right.
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody in.
I'm not a science major at all.
Well, we're broadcasting right now to the viewing party at Salt Lake. I'm sure there's someone who's saying it's this thing, it's this. It's not that. Okay, 24 minutes into the game, and Utah leads 16-5, 2-0. A win here secures the series, winning the holy war of League of Legends for these two teams. And the challenge is on. BYU find themselves down and behind against a very scary team.
And the Baron control is already there, but Vayne shows as long as Vayne is on the map, they know that Baron is not a threat. So they're comfortable just pushing up in mid lane, and that's the biggest lane you want to control when you're dealing with the likes of the Baron.
Trying to put some damage onto those minions, keep it cleared out. Seems like Selenic and Fury of Light are just forced to fall back ever so slightly, keep themselves safe from some of this damage and harass.
The Syndra threat, right? Syndra hits you with a stun, you're forced to use your 90 caliber net, and right away an engage happens.
Tandor going right away. That's James, despite the exhaust, gets so much, gets kicked into the barrel. The alley-oop is not enough. There goes the shutdown. Kraydon, does he have enough follow-up? That's the snowball. US economy drops to the Nunu Womp, and Am I Kenya will collapse. Another kill for Giraffe. Tempered Fate onto Tandor. They're on top of the barrel. Jimmer is able to get a kill, and that's going to be a double kill now for Giraffe, but he is long since dead. Kenya tanking the turret here as they look for the final kill and a second ace in this game.
And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get an objective out of this, but the fact that they blew so many summoners is going to be absolutely huge for them now. Forcing the Baron fight will be their next priority, and having that summoner advantage when you have the likes of a Bard fighting in the jungle, Tempered Fate and Magical Journey will just pay dividends.
So much mobility, so much damage. All it took was one person out of position for University of Utah to pull the trigger and force a fight, but fortunately they're not able to get any objectives
The
off it.
engaging Vayne. You see somebody, see enemy, kill enemy. Or see hero, kill hero.
Right?
Vayne spotting.
Yeah. Well, so
it went well. Ish.
So that's the question, though. Vayne spotting is when you see Vayne doing a stupid thing. What if it ends well?
See, he played it well. I think that engaging on it was fine, but he got a little carried away and didn't realize that Caitlyn was hitting him. Yeah, I think that was really it. I thought it was fine. Okay. And now they're going for a Baron sneak without the previous preparation that Syndra was into the Baron, into the blue side.
No vision from BYU. They've got 3 blue trinkets, but will they realize that it's happening in time? Now they've got to see it happening. They've got a ward outside the pit. But the Baron's already secured. Too
fast, too furious here as the Baron is taken right away, and they're going to be so fast. That's what I said. They have 3 Cloud Drakes.
Too fast, 3 Cloud Drakes, 5 furious, 5 me. As they continue pushing forward now, Kraydon has got such low health that he doesn't even care. He's so tanky. All right, here's the Empowered Recall. This could be the push that gives Utah the win in this best of 5.
5-1 Vayne, 10-3 Syndra. Everything's going Utah's way. The kills are perfect. Look at the support on toast. 1-0-11. I mean, could you get a better scoreline than that when you're playing the likes of that? Unfortunately, they're sitting on the ward and not really noticing.
Whoops.
Oh, no! No!
They're trying to collapse. James gets kicked away from the journey. That is a dead Vayne. Oh, boy.
So close.
Oh, tragedy.
See, that's why when you have Baron, you just group. You don't need to do anything fancy. You just group.
Just get the minions and push it forward. Go in.
I'm glad BYU recognized the situation and said, you know what? Let's not let him sit around. Let's give him something to fight for.
Exactly. With that kill, it's 5 versus 4 right now. Giraffe is still alive. Very strong, but he's flanking. That's not where Syndra should be. Caught by the snare.
Oh.
Chunked down by the laser. Killed by the Chaos Storm. BYU could be turning this back around. Kraydon caught in the gravity well. Drops. That's 3 members dead.
And good on Kenya for not caring that his team is throwing. The TP gets used and canceled. And maybe Bard canceled it. I'm not sure what that was all about, but Kenya is still going to be able to pick up the turret, and he can safely recall with the Empowered Baron.
Yeah, he's still got his Tempered Fate, so must have landed a Cosmic Binding or something, but that's a Tier 1 traded for a Tier 2. Minions are being pushed in. James is caught, takes the Sonic Wave. Fury of Light goes in. Oh, but he eats a lot of damage in return. James gets chunked down to a quarter of his health. Does he have the skills to pay the bills? Not right now. Can I take a deferred payment?
At the same time, Kenya is pushing the bottom lane still, but Maokai's just so... Oh, wait a minute, he's so fast. The Empowered Baron is able to take down the inhibitor turret, and Utah walks away with the advantage, even though all of them, except Maokai, were basically trolling.
Yeah, so trees can break down stone. They just need a lot of time.
You were so right, as it definitely
in.
pulled through. The Baron helped out, and he did it in the end.
Yes, so now everyone has respawned for Utah. They've got a bear inhibitor in the bottom lane. And oh, Utah. You know, it wouldn't be full solo queue without at least a little bit of a throw.
I mean, throws happen in every scenario, and they're always enjoyable. The harder they are, the funner they are to watch.
Yeah, exactly. This is now the 4th Drake of the game for Utah. Infernal picked up. There unfortunately will be no more elemental drakes, as Elder Dragon is going to spawn at 35-30, but the pressure is on. 5,000 gold lead for Utah.
Infernal is still going to be tremendous for the likes of Syndra, and while Vayne is most likely getting a BT as a second item, that is also still going to benefit her greatly, even though her build is a little bit more attack speed focused, having the new Blood Boil and having that double attack speed and crit item, if you exclude the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, now James looking to press down on that exposed inhibitor. He's got the help of the rest of his team, and Ami Kenya actually just used his ultimate, so he's got about 30 seconds to wait before that comes back up.
There's just no front line, making it so difficult, but the ultimate from GP gets dropped.
Yeah, Giraffe gets chunked to half. Kraydon. Ooh, you didn't want that Tempered Fate. James goes in, looking for the kill, but he's right on top of them when they come out. Kick over the wall. Follow up with the Sonic Wave. Fury of Light does not have it in him to drop James. He's trying to get back in there, but US economy is such a big threat. Selenic running away, trying to keep himself up as James heals up and finishes off the in-hit.
And it's that Warlord's blood loss paying off here, allowing him to stay alive with the PD, with the only Vamp Scepter, enough damage and lifesteal to actually stay alive through the exhaust from Toes, allowing him to survive the Sonic Wave.
Yeah, finishing off this ward now. Ami Kenya even teleported in, didn't actually use his ultimate in that fight, but I suppose it's okay.
Hey, you win it and then you forget about how.
Yeah, it's moral support, right? And now Utah breaking down that inhibitor. There's no big objectives for another 4 minutes outside of those remaining inhibitor turrets, so they've got the opportunity, or excuse me, BYU has the opportunity to slow things down and take a breather.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they can just take their picking of going top or middle. Most likely top side. You want to go there because it's farthest away from the other inhibitor, and because the composition that BYU has, they don't really have a flanker, so they need somebody to be as close with the team as possible. So GP is going to have to be moving back and forth between bottom and top. You pick the top side so that he has to walk longer.
Yeah, that looks exactly like what Utah are doing. The tag team of Nunu and Bard, plus 75 move speed. Running around, dropping wards. Toast is okay.
It's not even Christmas yet, and these guys are chucking snowballs at everyone.
What is this, the Howling Abyss? Come on.
I mean, I got a Christmas tree in my house, and I've had it all year long.
Flash, they're diving on the US economy. James used his flash early, makes it over the wall. He's looking for a few kills now as he manages to finish off Selenic.
And that's a nice pick off from Utah. Getting the AD carry is going to be tremendous in this next fight. They should feel very comfortable as they only have to deal with the likes of the Victor now. The GP, while he is a threat, he's not as big of a threat as Victor.
Yeah, there goes the mastery spam from James. Just a little bit of flavor as they look now for this next inhibitor. US Economy and Selenic are dead, so it's up to Jimmer. Does he have what it takes to clear these waves out? James is split. They're trying to burn him down. Exhaust is enough, and James is dead.
What are you doing, James? You can't be on that side. You got to be with the tanks. But the tanks were also split off because when they got hit by the Chaos Storm from the Victor, that Rivalries is just so deadly. If you're really beefy, it's going to do enough damage and stick onto you to slow you for quite some time.
Now 33 minutes in. Baron is in 30 seconds. And Utah are unable to break into Brigham Young University's base. They're able to hold, take it slow, continuing to scale. It's all about scaling. We got Gangplank, we got Victor, we got Caitlyn. Speaking of which, 3 items now finished for Selenic. James just completes his 4th, still in advantage for Utah, but BYU are growing in power.
So the only item that's going to matter here for the Caitlyn is once she gets her Lord Dominic's Regard. You're against a Bard that has a lot of HP, a Maokai which already has 2, or actually 3 armor items, a Nunu that is just as beefy, and if you don't have Lord Dominic's, you're just not going to be able to dish out an ADPS. Luckily, they're putting all the farm onto her, but it might be too late if Utah forces a fight right now.
Very optimistic start of the Baron from Ami Kenya. No carries there to help him finish it off. Led to one very confused looking sapling, but now both of the teams are grouped up. Super Minions flooding into the bottom lane as James is going to start it off with some help from Kraydon.
It's a nice start. Let's keep an eye on the Tempered Fate if they choose to engage, but luckily the Baron goes down so fast they don't even have to make the tough choice.
That is so much damage. Here comes Utah. They're going to rush forward now. That went into the lane. All right, so he's grabbing the minion wave. Not looking for the kills. And
Vayne is split off into the top side, so it looks like they're going to go with 2 lanes, but she's only just pushing the wave. It's going to be a slow build.
No, she's got that vital Gromp right now.
Oh.
So important. Finishes off Gromp. Now she's finally going to group up with the rest of the team. Here comes US Economy. Taking a lot of damage. Chunked down to half. That's a lot being tossed out. Tempered Fate catches one. Giraffe gets kicked over the wall, but it's still alive. James dives in, gets knocked against the wall from that gravity well. He eats a lot from the Chaos Storm on top of the trap. Still dishing out a lot. Selenic in the front. Falls. Jimmer for death. 3 hits. Dead. Looking for Tandor. Healing up as best he can. Flash. James chases. Doesn't get the 3rd hit. US Economy now stalling out as best he can, but he too shall fall. And this turret is going to drop. The game has ended as Utah will take the series 3-0 over Brigham Young.
With a Vayne and Syndra composition that nobody thought would really be that effective, but they made it work. It played it quite well. And a 27-3